summer. If you're looking for action,
Blast off!
X marks the spot. The X Games, coming June 20th.
The world thinks American soccer is second-rate. The world thinks we don't belong here. The world thinks our team is weak. The world thinks it can intimidate me. We'll see about that.
Well, what are we going to do today, Matt?
Shave it off. All of it. Just
Okay.
it's just this dandruff. It goes away, comes back, goes away, comes back.
Well, we can take care of that.
Head and shoulders.
With regular shampoo, flakes can keep coming back. But Head & Shoulders helps prevent flakes before they start. You may never see flakes again.
And your hair looks great.
Glad I didn't do something stupid like shave my head.
Head & Shoulders changes dandruff problems into beautiful hair.
Yvonne! 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 David!
Jag når det heldigvis snart slut på hockeysäsong.
Ja, men då var det tennis, golf och fotboll.
Tonight's intermission report is presented by the new Dodge. It's about change.
There it will be dumped into the corner. Fedorov giving chase. Fedor, the 9-iron shot, couldn't get it out of there. Into Bassett, who leaves it in the middle. Langenbrunner.
And there was some question as to whether or not that shot was actually on net or possibly going wide. What happens to a goaltender in this instance? For Osgood, it's not the first time.
It's not the first time in the playoffs. It's been an unbelievable run of long goals scored in Chris Osgood in the playoffs. And this guy is a great goaltender. Obviously, his numbers this year are fantastic. He got the team to one of the best teams in the NHL. But for some reason, long shots cause this guy a problem. That's really an in-tight shot this year in the playoffs. Roenick beats him in the first series. That's a little farther out. That's in center ice. That beats him. This one was even farther out. Overtime goal, beats him 42 seconds into the game, so he has had problems with this. What I hope happens with him is he forgets it. He uses it as a motivational factor. The rest of the Red Wings love this guy. They know he's going through trouble with those long shots. I hope they rally around him, but on the flip side, that Dallas Stars got to feel very confident coming from the dead, and now they got a chance to keep going and take a run at the Stanley Cup.
Dallas's goaltender, Eddie Belfour, actually had some words in the papers just a couple of days ago. He really basically said that Chris Osgood was lucky. Eventually, the horseshoe was going to fall out. He didn't say from where, but he said it was going to fall out, and they're going to fill the net with pucks. Now, they didn't exactly do that. But for Dallas, Eddie Belfour doing some talking, and he played well last night as well.
Well, when he let in that second goal, a Larianos goal, that was a soft goal from where that was. It looked like the horseshoe did fall, but it looked like it hit Eddie Belfour in the head. But after that, I'll tell you, he closed the door. He played great. He stopped Eisenman in the slot. He stopped a couple 2-on-1s. He looked very sharp. The pucks were going to the side, nothing in front of him. And from that point on, he was the best goaltender on the ice. And he gave his team a chance to win, and they did for him with a late goal in regulation and the early overtime goal. So Eddie Belfour talked, and Eddie Belfour won the game, which is the most important thing.
If you are Scotty Bowman, all right, you're coming home, and you've absolutely dominated Dallas at home, but you were 2 minutes away from already being in the Stanley Cup final. What do you say to the guys?
Well, if I'm Scotty Bowman, I've got a goaltender right now whose character is a little bit shaky. His psyche is a little shaky. He just lost the game in overtime with a 100-foot shot. If I'm Ken Hitchcock, my goaltender's sky high right now. He played a great game. He got a win. They're going into Game 6, so you got two different momentums going right now. One's going down, one's going up. Scotty's got to pick that kid up. and the rest of the team has to pick that kid up. He's low right now. The pressure taking runs at him. They got to pick him up and get him ready for Game 6 because he's going to play. They got nobody else. Osgood is the guy that's going to win or lose that series for Detroit.
All right, so Dallas is still alive after they win that game, but just the same, they know things are going to be extremely tough tomorrow night in Detroit.
They're a team that feeds off mistakes and miscues that teams make, and they seem to make teams pay for them. And, you know, once they got ahead, they just seemed to go into a shell, defensive shell, and just sat back and you know, wishing the time to click down a little quicker.
Well, I like the law of averages. I mean, we haven't won in there in eons, and I like the chances of us going in there and finally upsetting them if we keep playing the same way we do right now.
Coaches with the positive spin, down 3 games to 2, going to Detroit. As he mentioned, did Ken Hitchcock. They have struggled there, but they'll try and keep this series alive and force a game number 7, which would be back in Dallas on Sunday. 7:30 Eastern time tomorrow. Right now, we've got a couple of goalies that are as hot as anyone. Ole Kolzig had to be terrific. A little luck as well. We are scoreless after 1.
Can we enhance performance by simply moving a battery? Is it possible to combine the ease of an automatic with the fun of a manual? Is everyone comfortable with the concept of cab-forward design? These are the questions. This is the answer. Dodge Stratus. Now select Dodge and competitive owners can get $1,500 cash back on Dodge Stratus.
Got your Bud Light, you can't hit my friend. I'm thirsty.
For the great taste that will fill you up and never let you down.
Looks like you're buying.
Make it a Bud Light.
Coach is calling for the Heat.
My husband and I made a bet. I said 10-10-3-2-1 was cheaper. He thought AT&T was. Well, the phone bill is here, and he lost. Turns out 10-10-3-2-1 saves 50% off every call over 20 minutes. And those savings really add up. We saved $18 on a $50 phone bill. So it's settled. Now we both dial 10-10-3-2-1, then 1 and the number. Right, honey?
This is the last time I bet against you.
I love a man on an apron.
Dial 10-10-3-2-1. This might be a good time to talk about the Michelin X1. Thanks to Michelin technology, it gives you long mileage and better wet braking than any rain tire. And that should make everyone on a wet road happy.
Michelin, celebrating 100 years of innovation.
The world will be watching the unstoppable Ronaldo and Team Brazil defend their title when they take on Scotland in the opening game of the World Cup. Then Morocco battles Norway, all live from France. Wednesday at 11 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. on ESPN.
Welcome back once again to the New Dodge Intermission Report. As we look at this first period of play, Buffalo looking so much better than they did in Game 5. One of the reasons, offense on the power play.
Well, I used to sing the praises of the Buffalo power play quite regular here early in the early rounds when they were really flying. And in the first period of this game, it was flying again. It was the same reasons. It was very simple. The puck went back to the point, and the puck went to the net very quick. Not a lot of wasted motion. Tenorti makes the mistake, doesn't get it out. Grosek plays it right here. Now look at everybody in Buffalo moving. Everybody's cycling. The puck's going down low. Puck goes back to the point. Woolley, who's very confident now after that goal the other night. Quick wrist shots in that. Very hard to block a wrist shot like that because he gets it away so quick. Same thing here. Woolley makes another great play. Very confident move right here. Holzinger gets it right there. Back. Watch it. Quick wrist shot. Pass off the side. Grosek doesn't put that one in. Again, it goes back to the point. Quick passes, quick movement, quick wrist shot at the net. 3 great shots at the net. They don't score in that, John. But if they keep doing that and keep that same momentum, keep those same quick passes, they will get goals in that power play before the night. That's the best that power play's looked since the last round against Montreal. Very quick, very simple, very to the point.
Buffalo had 16 shots in the first period. They had 16 in all of game number 5. Now, we talked about when you are up 3 games to 1, if you lose game 2, maybe lose the next one and tie 3-3, the things get tighter. Does that happen as each period goes along as well?
Yeah, it does, because, again, Washington's saying all the right things. Ronnie Wilson, I think, is a very smart man. He never makes a mistake in the paper. He uses the papers to motivate his team properly, and they're saying the right things. But the bottom line is that the longer this game goes, The longer Hasek has a chance to win, the better he becomes, the higher the pressure, the better this guy plays. And again, we mentioned it earlier, they don't want to go back to Washington in an even 3-3 situation where Hasek has to win one game. Nobody wants that to happen to him. That's the Canadian national team that was supposed to beat the Czechs. So we know what Dominic Hasek can do in a one-game series. Washington wants to end it tonight. They want to end it tonight very badly, as a matter of fact.
Well, at least they don't have to worry about a shootout like Canada did in the Olympics, losing that one. All right, stick around. When we come back, we will head to the second period. Buffalo trying to stay alive. The Cats trying to get to the Stanley Cup final.
A lot of industry experts told us that the passenger side was the best place to add a third door. We got still more advice insisting that the driver's side was the only logical choice. But as you can see, we let it all go right in one ear and out the other. Introducing the new Dodge Ram Quad Cab. Lease a Ram regular cab for $214 a month with owner bonus for select Dodge and competitive owners.
Slam the stack. You could win instantly. Yeah! Snowboards, mountain bikes, other stuff.
You protected your face all night. Why stop in the locker room? The Norelco Reflex Action Razor. Anything closer could be too close for comfort.
Out of the blue.
It's small, but powerful enough to bring people together who are worlds apart. Its microphone reaches down to capture softest whispers. Its dial navigator makes getting in touch as easy as touching. Sony's remarkable wireless phone. Advanced technology that advances your life.
It's the new Dodge Intermission Report. A reminder, NHL tonight, 10:30 Eastern Time. Bill Pito, Ron Hextall of the Flyers in Barry Melrose to get you up to date on everything that happens tonight. And a look ahead to tomorrow's Game 6 in the Detroit-Dallas series. Tonight at 10:30 Eastern Time, or following the game, it's baseball tonight, everything out of the majors, followed by Sports Center at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. It's all coming up following this one between Buffalo and Washington. We are knotted at zeros on to the second period.
Evander Holyfield is facing the biggest challenge of his career. Bigger than Riddick Bowe. Bigger than George Foreman. Bigger than Mike Tyson. Evander Holyfield has never stared down a bigger opponent. Holyfield versus Akinwande for the World Heavyweight Championship. Plus, Johnny versus Duran, Johnny Tapia, and Christy Martin. D-Day at the Garden, Saturday, June 6th, live on pay-per-view.
I learned honesty from my parents. I learned right and wrong from my parents. I learned value things. Wrong is stealing. Right is giving it back.
As a parent, you are the greatest influence in your child's life. You set examples of what's right and wrong. And stealing cable TV is not only wrong, it's a federal crime. What kind of example are you setting for your children?
It's one of the commandments. You're not supposed to do that.
Against Mike Piazza with the New York Mets when they travel to Fenway for an interleague showdown against Mo Vaughn and the Boston Red Sox. Sunday at 8 on ESPN.
It's a grand game.
ESPN's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to you by the new Dodge. It's about change. And by Visa. the official card of the U.S. hockey team. It's everywhere you want to be.
Back in Buffalo, just about set for the start of the second period. The first period went scoreless. The Caps and the Sabres. Back Marine Midland Arena, Steve Levy along with Darren Pang and Brian Hayward, and the Buffalo Sabres have been true to their word. They say they would come out much differently than they were last game. They had 16 shots all last game, had 16 shots in that first period.
You know, offense from the defensemen of the Buffalo Sabres really was non-existent for a couple of games right in the middle. But in that period, they had a lot of shots. They had 10 shots from defensemen. That's an awful lot of shots, and they're getting traffic in front of that, making it as difficult as possible on Kolzig.
Yet still scoreless. That brings us to our Visa storyline and some of the other numbers. This one, only the goalie in Buffalo has not allowed a goal in the last 117-plus minutes. How about Sabre forwards? No goals their last 177-plus minutes. And there you see the shots and chances we were talking about compared to Game 5.
And the goaltender is a big, big part of that opening 20 minutes of play. Both ends, both guys, especially Kolzig. His first shot was this one here, off the inside of the left leg, and it dribbled wide. Mike Eagles had a glorious scoring chance, and Hocknick was in the game. Left kick saved by Kolzig, and again, countered at the other end of the ice by Dominic Hocknick. Kolzig sprawling on one side, and again, Joey Juneau getting a real good shot right there. So both goaltenders, as expected, coming up real big here for both respective hockey clubs. Ole, the goalie at one end, and Dominic Hasek at the other end.
On what you were saying, Darren, you talk about the goaltending. Lindy Ruff asked his players to play bigger in this series. Part of hitting the guys in behind the net also includes driving hard to the front of the net. And with the Sabres driving harder to the front of the Washington net, Kolzig is forced to play a lot deeper in the net. Also has the added bonus of really reducing the effectiveness of the two mobile Washington defensemen, Sergei Gonchar and Calle Johansson. Brian Hayward, thanks. Just about set to go. Start of this second period, scoreless after one. And Panger, the theory about the Buffalo needing shots on their goaltender, well, they really actually outplayed Washington in that first. Does that, in a way, hurt them?
Well, it can't hurt them because Dominic looked so sharp at his end. It wasn't like he had, a staggered amount of shots, and he struggled with that. He got on a roll early. I think that gave his team the confidence that they have shown throughout the last couple of years with Dominic in the net.
Underway, second period, giveaway. Chris Simon partially fanned on the shot, and that allowed Hasek to play it easily outside of his net.
Simon doing a nice job of anticipating the giveaway by the Buffalo Sabres. In that period, the giveaways were awfully close, 10-11 in that period. And Jason Woolley, who had such a great opening 20, tried to go up the gut right down the middle, and the hand-eye coordination of Chris Simon solid. Unfortunately for Simon and the Capitals, he could never settle that puck down and let her rip. He kind of fanned on it, went off the heel, and went wide to the glove side.
Face off to the left of Hasek, won by the Capitals, but they'll do it again.
We mentioned before, too, the defenseman Jason Woolley was really, really sharp in that opening 20 minutes to play. Plenty of shots from the defenseman, 10 of them there. Woolley, 5 shots in his own in that period. A lot of them obviously coming on the power play, but he wasn't reluctant to shoot the puck. And the key, they got through. All the legs and the sticks and all that. Washington's an excellent shot-blocking squad. Woolley made sure they got through.
Face-off won by Buffalo. Although the Caps were able to keep in. It's set up pretty well. There's Simon. Well, I didn't fan on that one. He ripped it pretty good. And Hasek made the glove save. Giveaway, though. And Buffalo able to get it back. Here's Wayne Primo streaking. Primo in on Simon, the forward. Gets the shot off the big save by Kolzig. Still loose. Cruz is hammered. Another shot. And finally, we get the whistle as bodies are flying everywhere.
Kolzig, unbelievable. Not only in the first one, the second one, a scramble again. And Chris Simon, who was back as a third man back, actually got caught on that little, skating backwards, pivoting and turning. And because of that, Wayne Primo took advantage of that. There's Chris Simon trying to give him a whack, trying to stop if he can. Primo did an excellent job of using his size, and he's got good wheels. But look at that. Cruz has got a loose puck right there before Hunter comes in. Then Simon blocks that shot. It trickles through. Kolzig's got it. And on the angle, the goaltender comes across and cuts down the bottom part of the net again. But look at Cruz is there paying the
for both teams respectively. And looks like that'll even things up. And the shot 17 for the Buffalo Sabres on Colzig. Rebound chances, rebound shots, 6 of them. If you don't pay the price and you don't drive to the net against the goaltender that's in focus, anytime you're in the conference finals, it's no fluke. The goaltenders are excellent, and they're on a roll. They're in a zone. They're seeing the puck. And so you may not score on the original, but you better crash the net. Brendan Witt is number 19 coming into your picture here. And his right skate, right there. Oh, man! Oh, great look at it, guys.
Off the face-off. Won by Washington. That was closer than just a close call. Off the skate of Olsen nearly, and backhand shot is stopped. And some sloppy play right in front of Rouse. Only the goalie nearly leads to a Buffalo goal.
So the Buffalo Sabres start the second period, coughing the puck up twice. And the Washington Capitals had chances. Now, Michael Grosek comes in and does a nice job there of putting a woo. He didn't put much pressure, but Mark Tenorti played the puck to Oates. They're in close court. You could throw a small baby blanket over those 3 guys right there. Grosek takes advantage of that. Real good scoring chance there.
Shots on goal, and now 2-1 in the game. 20-10, advantage Buffalo. And scoring chances, they're better than 2-1. Better than 3-1 in favor of Buffalo as well, but nothing to show for it as we're scoreless early on here in the second. Here's Zhitnik for the Sabres. Out ahead. Pass could not connect. Looks at the turnover. Here's Oates. Got Juno with him. Couldn't sneak it across. Richard Schmelik, who has struggled in the series, makes a strong defensive play there to break it up. Big shot from way out. Wide of the net. Zhitnik went in to go after his own rebound. And the Capitals were able to come away at center. Here's Oates. Drop pass for Juno. Hits the brakes away from Shannon. Now Daryl Shannon takes it away. Holzinger, nice little soft pass, although Wilson couldn't handle. Gonchar. Pariki. That's center ice. And he'll shoot in softly.
Well, if Wilson could have handled that puck, excuse me, Steve, he had Dixon Ward following up the play on the far side. It would have been an odd man break.
Bondra has. Settling the puck for Gonchar. Gets it back now. Bonds are trying to work it in on Wilson. Knocked away. Sailors look to come out as they break it center. It's Michael Pekka. Pekka and Shannon. Oh, the save! What a stop by Kolzig with the right skate. And Shannon was right there but couldn't get to the rebound. Like this open ice, little 4-on-4 as Bondra rockets one wide and all the way out. Here's Shannon again. Daryl Shannon got some help. Gets the shot off. The shot from Pekka. And that one stopped by Kolzig. And you hear the crowd urging Dixon Ward to look for the puck.
And his teammates must have told him it's there, but he couldn't turn quick enough to keep it inside the zone. Again, Olaf Kolzig with that right leg and the butterfly covering low. Another excellent save.
Flipped in, back behind the net. Tenorti will wrap it around. The 2 penalties are over, so we're back to 5 aside. Here's Barnaby. Thought about the stuff. Gets the shot on top. And a glove save by Kolzig. Only the goalie. Stronger than the Buffalo offense has started here in the second to keep this one scored.
When you've lived 7 or 8 lives, you can make some pretty long-lasting friendships. But even when you've known someone forever,
Of course, I'll take your check. Could I see some ID, please?
without ID, you're history. Use the Visa check card. It's an ATM card that deducts directly from your checking account everywhere Visa's accepted. Works like a check, only better.
By the way, Visa likes me better.
Announcing new savings from the new Dodge with up to $1,000 extra cash back on select Dodge cars, trucks, and caravans. That's up to $1,000 in addition to existing incentives, so you could save as much as $2,000. It's our way of thanking loyal Dodge owners and welcoming new ones, because this bonus offer is open to select Ford and GM owners too, but only for a limited time. The Dodge Owners Bonus. New savings from the new Dodge.
The Buffalo Sabres have peppered Kolzig, I should say, 17 low shots, 6 high shots on Ole the goalie. And on that last sequence of events. Donald Audette is a right-hand shot, and he's going to come around on a wraparound attempt. The first one doesn't get through. The second one is bobbled as well, and that one's going to go wide to the glove side. Puck was bouncing, and the puck has bounced an awful lot here. Guys can't seem to get it settled down. Audette now switches over to the right side, and the Sabres are flooded to the right side with Derek Plant on the backhand. He has Jason Woolley. Now the Washington Capitals change their alignment up as well, with Zednik on this side going to go out to Woolley if he gets a chance.
Shots on goal here in the second. 7-0 in favor of Buffalo. Off the faceoff. Might they get another one? It's Woolley again. Comes out in front. Sanderson couldn't tee it up. And what a stop there by Colzing. And we're going to have penalties.
It's all from the faceoff here. All from the faceoff. The Capitals have dominated in this series on faceoffs, but in this particular hockey game, the focal point of the Buffalo Sabres has been put on faceoffs, and they've done an excellent job responding. Sanderson's got a wide-open net, but give Ricky plenty of credit. Ricky puts his stick over the shaft of the stick of Sanderson. On the right side of your screen, while this puck squirts loose there, that's Sanderson, and there's the blade of the stick of Ricky, and he nullifies any chance whatsoever. That is purely the size and strength of Joe Ricky, and Sanderson, who's got quick hands, just had no time whatsoever. Great play by Joe Ricky.
Deacon in the box for holding. How about a complete turnaround from the second period of last game to this one? Last game, it was Washington out shooting Buffalo 13-2 in the second. Here we're already at 8-0 in favor of Buffalo. And yet again, the Sabres have nothing to show for it. Let's see what they do with this power play. The penalty to Tikkanen. And it comes up short-handed. Here's Juno. Got help. He's got Tenorti with him. Joey Juno makes the move. Stopped by Hasek. A sprawling save by the Dominator as Tenorti went flying into the net.
That can be a potentially dangerous scenario right there. So the goaltender's got his legs spread doing the splits, and on the left side of your screen, after Joey Juno does some shaking and baking, Mark Tenorti goes right in there, and if I'm not mistaken, his foot and his skate was right between the legs of Hasek as Hasek's doing the split. So Tenorti's going to break in here, and that's a smart move by Tenorti because he's taking a player with him. And Derek Plant came back real hard. Again, the Buffalo Sabres have been exposed a little bit. While they've been on the power play, the Washington Capitals have taken advantage of that. They've jumped in the hole. In Game 5, Bondra had a couple of real good chances like that, and it looked like the Washington penalty killers had more energy than the Buffalo power play guys.
Face-off won by Washington, but a sneaky play by Barnaby leads to this. Although they can't control, Gonchar recaptured inside his own zone. Roll around, kept in. Holzinger to Barnaby now. And now they'll look to set up with the power play. They couldn't handle it, the blue line, and it's a delayed offside call.
Peter Bondra scored 52 in the regular season. Before this series started, Bill Clement called him the X Factor, and that's what it's been. And he dominated a couple of games. He had a couple of glorious chances in Game 5 in Washington. Short-handed chance here coming in on Hasek. He gets taken down but gets a good shot. This one better. This is his classic and vintage move of Peter Bondra. Many guys have certain tendencies. The Buffalo Sabres and Dominic Hasek feel that Bondra likes to go back to the forehand. When a player goes to the forehand, it's tough to get the puck back up. When you go to the backhand, it's easier to take the puck and hoist it up on the backhand. Hasek read that perfectly and made the late save.
Bondra had 8 shots in the last game and stopped all of them by Hasek. Hard hit by Tenorti on Holzinger. And the Sabre power play, which obviously didn't score in the first, was effective at least. Here come the Caps again, short-handed. Here's Nikolic in, the stop by Hasek. And comes back on Dominic now as another Capital player winds up in the net, and everybody joins the party.
I'll tell you what, it's Tenorti again, and the Washington Capitals in this series have had contact with Dominic Hasek. At times he's been frustrated. Right now he seems to be at a pretty even keel right here, but his teammates are going to take exception to the second play in a row that the Washington Capitals had the puck, and the same guy, Mark Tenorti, crashed into him. Hasek only goes about 162 pounds right now. Not a real big guy, although the equipment's big. In this series, Dominic Hasek has been bowled over on a number of situations. Anytime the Washington Capitals are around, they're giving him a little bit of a nudge right there. Early on in the series by Simon. Bondra didn't get a penalty here, and there was some frustration shown by the goaltender. goaltender Dominic Hasek. Then tripped up by Esa Tikkanen. Right here in Buffalo, games 3 and 4. Dominic Hasek gave up a bad goal and hit Zednik because he was a little frustrated late. Now moments ago, Tenorti comes into him the second time, as I said before. And so it's going to be a power play for the Buffalo Sabres. Hasek gets bowled over by Tenorti. Tenorti has to make an effort as if he's stopping. He's got big feet, this big fella, and I don't think he can turn them over and stop before he got to Hasek.
Tenorti for goalie interference. Standing ovation. The crowd really into it with their white pom-poms. It'll be a two-man advantage for Buffalo. For 54 seconds, an ideal time to crank up a dormant power play. Two-man advantage, 5-on-3 for 54 seconds. Goalie interference to Tenorti at 4:14. Oates, Johansson, and Riki are your three Washington Capitals on the ice. Face-off, won by Buffalo. They'll look to set it up here.
It gives Peter Bonder an opportunity to take a rest because he was part of the last penalty-killing unit.
Sanderson is out there, along with Donald Audette, Michael Pekka, Jason Woolley, and Wayne Primo. Primo hasn't escaped. Back behind the net now. Johansson slaps at it. Primo first man to get to it. And his pass is a bad one. And the Sabres unable to keep it in the zone, and that'll burn valuable clock time. 25 seconds left in a 5-on-3 now. Here's Sanderson. Hits the break. Looks for some space. Sanderson for Pekka. For Woolley. Lets it go. Shot it wide. And Pekka can't hold his own.
The change in the Buffalo's power play, the coach has got Wayne Primo, big fella, right in front of the net, in front of Kolzig.
Here's Pekka carrying. He'll throw it around the boards. Up for Audette. Back to the point for Woolley. Taking his time. Cross for Pekka. Lets the shot go well wide of the mark. Peeking in his back, so it's only a 5-on-4 now. Shot in traffic, blocked, loose, and Oates gets to it for Washington, and it'll clear.
That's a bonus for Washington, too. Tikkanen, an excellent penalty killer. He comes right out of the box, and he just joins the flow of the play.
Woolley back for it. Now 45 seconds left in the man advantage, and the penalty to Tenorti. A two-man advantage can work against you as well if you don't score, in terms of losing some momentum from it. Tikkanen overskates. Barnaby has for Grosek. Back to the point. Zitnik lets it go. Stopped by Kolzig. Rebound is loose and cleared by Tikkanen.
Good idea by Buffalo to put the puck on net. But again, we're seeing Kolzig make the first save. And those big defensemen, Gonchar and Riki, doing an excellent job of clearing the rebound.
Out ahead at center. Here's Grosek. Grosek trying to make the move. Foot to the fence, but couldn't get through with the puck. Wrapped around. Shannon will hold his own. Throws in deeper for Holzinger now. Groshek's in front of the net. Works it back to the point. Fakes the shot. Zitnik pass. His shot is blocked by a sliding Nikolajin. Zitnik trying to squeak it through. Couldn't. Power play is over. And the Capitals able to kill off a lengthy 5-on-3. They manage, Buffalo does, just one shot on the two overlapping power plays.
This is a hungry Washington Capitals club. But Brian Holzinger of the Buffalo Sabres is coming up with a real good hockey game here. He's getting rewarded with plenty of ice time. From behind the net, you've got Holzinger right here. And he's going to come right in front of the net and try to disturb things. Because Wayne Primo was also in front of the net trying to get there as well. Now the shot's taken. That's a timing play right there. He's waiting and buying time while I'm showing the arrow. He's waiting to see when the defenseman's going to get the puck there. There's no use shooting the puck from the point if there's no one in front. That's a good, smart play by the Sabres. But again, Ole Kolzig is nullifying the opportunities that Buffalo's had.
Face-off won by Washington. Tenorti, who's been a horse back there for the Capitals all series long. Able to get it around and out. Verano threw the big check, and the crowd roared its approval. 13:20 to go. Scoreless second period from Buffalo. ESPN's exclusive coverage. Game 6, Eastern Conference Finals. If Buffalo wins, there'll be a Game 7 on the Deuce on Saturday night from Washington. Of course, the Caps win. They're on to the finals. Glove down by Kolzig with heavy traffic in front.
Dixon Ward came from the left of Olaf Kolzig. Kolzig looked over at the referee, Don Koharski. Might be looking for some interference right there. It looked to me like Kolzig reached out as Ward was coming from his left. Now, Kolzig appears to be out of the crease after Wilson's shot. So he passes it, and there's Dixon Ward. Yeah, he's being sandwiched right there. He's got Tenorti on the other side of him. I'm sure if Ward made an effort to get out of the way. He's trying to cut in, and as he's cutting in, Tenorti's blocked. his path as well. Colsey did a nice job of fighting off the traffic. He's got to know from that angle someone's coming to the left. It'd be easy to kind of whip on that sucker right there. But Colsey has been absolutely outstanding here.
There was a goal like that in the Detroit game last night. It looked like a shot was going way wide on the net. There was a body wound to the front of the net, and that led to one of the goals in that game. Shots, you see, the Sabres the big advantage, 26-12. Just 2 shots in this period by Washington. Nearly a complete reversal of the second period of last game in this period. Inside the Washington zone, Witt gets to it, shovels it away, took the big hit, though, from Rob Ray. Here's Simon out. He's cut off by Smellick, forced to throw in. Bugner hit by Berube, but able to release the puck in time. Berube gets it back. Simon cruising around in front of the net. Penalty coming up against Buffalo. Kolzig is off. Extra attacker is on. Looks like Bugner will go as Buffalo touches up. The Capitals to the power play. We'll check on Lindy Ruff's penalty killers when we come back.
There's an island where the waters are still, where the only thing you have to do is lie on your back, watching the waves rush in and out all day long, and where you'll need to go to recover after you return from our trip. Enter the Heineken Seek a True Adventure Sweepstakes, and you can win a trip to Costa Rica, Thailand, Mexico, or South Africa. And while you're at it, you might want to book your recovery vacation.
ID confirmed.
Bond.
ID confirmed. ID confirmed.
Todd?
Take a check.
Absolutely, James. Just need some ID.
Really, Dublin says you should use the Visa check card. It automatically deducts from your checking account everywhere Visa's accepted. See, tomorrow never dies.
Back in Buffalo, Caps win, they advance on. Sabres win. Again, there'll be a Game 7 on ESPN2 on Saturday night. Bugner in the box, 2 for cross-checking. 7:36 for the big stop there at the angle by Hodgson. How about the Capitals? They moved that around on the power play very nicely.
There's been a lot of traffic in front of the net, and there's been a lot of communication between the referee, Don Koharski, he's having here with Dominik Hasek, and explaining to him.
Hey! Hey! Your goalie's reaching his arm out here to catch the puck. He's way out of it.
And that was the play before that was Kolzig grabbing the puck. And that's exactly right. His arm was outside. And then Sonorti was coming in. And again, when Hasek made that save just seconds ago, again, there's some communication with Don Koharski.
Good play by Gonchar to keep it inside the zone. Juneau has now. Tried to center. Went off the skate. Back behind the net. Bellows sweeps it around. For Phil Housley, had a lane momentarily. And passed on the shot to make the pass to Oates. Oates away from Ward. Set up for Juneau. For Gonchar couldn't tee it up. Here's Gonchar, cross for Housley. Takes the shot again, pass down low for Oates. Oates steps up Juneau now, works back to the point. Heckel went down. Now the splash on Gonchar up high. Shot is blocked, but the Caps able to keep in. Gonchar, cross for Juneau. The big banger, fakes it. The pass back for Housley. His shot was blocked by Pekka. Sabres get to it, can't clear though. Good play Housley to keep it in. Centering feed, and how about that play by Hasek to break up the centering pass.
Good read by Dominik Hasek. Good read. It's at the right side, too, to get the paddle to your stick there to intercept it. And then as you intercept the puck, the Washington Capitals are doing an excellent job of moving the puck. Side to side, creating some traffic right here. And Joey Juneau ends up on the one side, passes it back, and the shot doesn't get through. And the Buffalo Sabres fail to clear right there. The Capitals doing an excellent job. You stop it here now. The key is right around this area here. And Dominik Hasek's reading that. He's already got his hand extended. So he's got the knob of the stick there, the hand's extended. He's anticipating and reading it.
Bondra lets the rocket go right on the Sabres symbol. And Hasek will hang on. 53 seconds left in the Washington power play.
Well, we know that Bondra's had great success against him. 10 goals in his career. that super slow-mo shot. You see the puck coming through. Great look at that. Unfortunately for Bonder, it's right at the Sabre, right at the crest. He just got his belly pad on that blast.
Would have killed that poor Sabre. Or Buffalo.
Good hard shot, though, by Bonder. He gets plenty of wood on every shot he takes.
Got a good look at his wood today, checking out his sticks. What, 12 of them he's working on?
Tons.
Nikolishkin, centering pass. With the two players he was going for, and it's clear.
Bonder uses a different stick in different situations. Short-handed, power play, longer sticks in some situations, but he does. He's meticulous. He would does a lot of work on those sticks.
And there is Bondra with Schmelik. Sabres unable to get to it. Caps can. 15 seconds left the power play. Shot wide of the net. Here's Zednik now on his backhand. Zednik throws in deeper. Hasek will scoop it away, but right to Tikkanen. He forces it a bit deeper. Bugner out of the box, able to clear. No icing. They will not call icing on it as we're back to 5-a-side. Bondra, who offered to do some cabinets, I know, in the Pang's house, coming up in your study area there. So good with the woodworking. Like Bondra needs some extra work. Saturday, 2:30 p.m. here on ESPN. It's National Car Rentals Racing Across America presenting a comprehensive preview on the Belmont Stakes. They'll celebrate Secretariat's 31-length victory. Then, at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific on ABC Sports, the 130th running of the Belmont Stakes. Kentucky Derby and Preakness Stakes winner Real Quiet goes for the Triple Crown victory at the longest of the Triple Crown races at 1.5 miles. Saturday on ABC.
Only 12 Triple Crown winners. The last one, of course, was affirmed 20 years ago.
All right, Panger.
Trying to bring something to the table for you, Steve.
We know what you'll be watching this weekend on ABC Sports, by the way. Inside the Buffalo zone, past the midway point of the period and the hockey game, we remain scoreless. Hunter checked immediately by Primo. That leads to this. Barnaby lets it go. The big shot went wide of the net. Big shot went wide of the big goaltender. Woolley, good play to keep inside the zone. Set up pretty well. Bugner fakes, and he'll throw it deeper. There's Barnaby. Gonchar right out to greet him. Primo on it. Hunter on him. Court free for Gonchar. Off the sideboard. And Kelly Miller just able to get it out and ahead to Mike Eagles. Eagles had the right idea. He was looking for Hunter coming through the middle of the ice.
Little lineup change there. Primo in the middle. That's where Holzinger had been between Grosek and Barnaby.
Here's Audette now, and across the line. Centering feed was looking for Plant. On with Sanderson now. Right on! A save by Kolzig. Big one from Mike Wilson. And a stop again by Kolzig. Only the goalie keeps this baby scoreless.
Quality, dependability, satisfaction, that's what you get from Brown's Arlington Honda. The same reliability you expect from Honda cars, trucks, and vans is the same reliability you get from a dealer like Brown's Arlington Honda. In fact, the manufacturer's customer satisfaction survey ranks Brown's Arlington Honda over 94%. From Alexandria, take the George Washington Parkway north, past the Key Bridge to the Stout Run exit. Follow that to Lee Highway, turn right, and wheel 1/2 mile on the left. Brown's Arlington Honda, dedicated to superior customer satisfaction.
I learned honesty from my parents. I learned right and wrong from my parents. I learned value things. Wrong is stealing. Right is giving it back.
As a parent, you are the greatest influence in your child's life. You set examples of what's right and wrong. And stealing cable TV is not only wrong, it's a federal crime. What kind of example are you setting for your children?
It's one of the commandments. You're not supposed to do that.
Still a scoreless tie here in Buffalo, and in our Men in Speed Stick Ultimate Hockey Night Spotlight, we're going to take a look at Adam Oates in the face-off circle. He won 69% of the draws the last game. I've got him around 60% again in tonight's game. Unlike a lot of centermen who change tactics and approaches in the circle, Oates does the same thing virtually every time he beats you with hand speed. Even though he's lost a few tonight, he's not going to change anything.
Right on cue there, Brian, as Oates wins that face-off. Back for Mark Tenorti. And the Capitals look to move it out ahead. They do. Here's Bellows with Oates. Brian Bellows lets it go. The Rocket wide of the net, looking for our side. Juno to check on Barnaby. But it's a 2-on-2. Now 3-on-2 and across the line. It's flipped down by Shannon. He'll get it back. Wide of the net. Off
the side of the net and out to Tenorti. 8.5 to go here in the scoreless second. And the Caps break again. 2-on-1. Oates with Bellows. Oates shot that one. And he was looking horrific short side and missed.
Oh, the Buffalo Sabres are giving this line way too many glorious opportunities. They're going to get burnt sooner or later.
Here it is again. Bellows shot. Stopped by Hasek. Another 2-on-1 down low. Bellows had judo with him.
Tension at the wrong times. I mean, you got to look up and find. You got Adam Oates, one of the great playmakers that's ever played the game. Juno's got a quick stick, and they're giving him all the time and space in the world.
Here's Zednik. The feed. Down low. Centering pass. Never made it through as Nikolic followed through. Kolzig will leave it there for his defense.
Washington Capitals, Steve, have had 5 odd-man breaks. The Sabres have had just 1 in this hockey game.
Seems like 5 in the last couple of minutes for Washington. Nikolic trying to get it across to Bondra. Dumps down lower. Zednik. He's checked immediately. Centering feed broken up. But it comes for Housley. Didn't get the good wood on it. Still got it deeper inside the zone. Up on the point. Housley on his backhand, able to keep it momentarily. Now Verona able to move it out ahead. He was trying to kick it free to Ward, who was ahead of the play. Zednik from the angle. Shot blocked by Schmelik. Hit by Bondra, so he had to give up the puck. Ward couldn't handle for Buffalo. Nikolic can, but only momentarily. As the Sabres now look to break. Here's Ward. Sticks and Ward for Michael Pekka scores! Pekka on the goal! 1-0! Buffalo!
The Buffalo Sabres respond again when there seems to be pressure in their own zone, and they're scrambling and running around. They're resilient. One turnover happens, and Dixon Ward has a couple of options. His last thought, backhand pass to his line-mate and good buddy, Mike Pekka. And only the goalie has got the 6-hole there between the body and the glove, right between the arm there, and it goes in. Pekka got good wood on that one-timer, and that's a good shot.
Pekka's health has been questioned in this series, whether he's really 100% or not. He looked healthy on that shot. It is the first point for Michael Pekka in 7 games, dating back to the second-round series. Now the shot, score! Right back! Esa Tikkanen. What a pass from Mark Tenorti, and that'll quiet the crowd as the game has been tied at 1.
Quiet it. It takes the life right out of the crowd. That's one way to counter. And Tikkanen again, just like Mike Pekka, has not had many opportunities offensively. Good work down low by the Capitals. Miller does a nice job bending off of Sanderson. Spins around, plays it back to the point. Tenorti, oh, he knows what he's doing the whole time. Oh, it's the old fake shot. Pull it and go wide. Tikkanen takes it to the backhand, and with soft hands gets by Jason Woolley and taps it into the open side. Hasek was challenging the Tenorti shot. What a smart heads-up play by Mark Tenorti.
No goals in 33 minutes, then 2 goals in 22 seconds, and that's hockey, right? And a penalty coming up now as Cruz was checked by Hunter, and it looks like a slashing call coming up. Esa Tikkanen gets the goal. He scored a goal in the first 2 games, and now gets his first in 15. 6th on the active list. Esa Tikkanen ties the hockey game. But we're going to have a penalty coming up here. And it looks like Zhitnik will go. And the Caps will go to the power play. 22 seconds after Buffalo scores, Washington scores to tie the game.
And both players primarily known for their great checking work. Esa Tikkanen, of course, for his shadowing of all the great players. And the centerman right there that's going to take the draw, Mike Pekka. But at one point, they get a lot of ice time. And at one point, you're going to have to get scoring chances. And so both players have responded. The bad news for Buffalo is that had this place just jumping and alive. Now they're shorthanded.
Oates for Bellows. Bellows is banged down to the ice hard by Primo. Rather by Pekka. I beg your pardon. Bellows behind the net. Up to the point for Housley. Have the shot blocked. Sabres look to counter. Across the red line. Fired up high on Kolzig, who juggles. Now, it looked like he knew where it was. And with Ward on top of him, he'll hang on for the whistle.
Well, Godzilla, just like Dominic Hasek in Game 5, caught that with his And again, he has been quiet in the physical department. Game 4, he was terrific. Game 1, he was excellent. Here in this hockey game, he scored a goal. He's taken the body. And as you had said before, there was speculation. We all know that, he missed the first 2 games against Philadelphia at the shoulder. He talked openly on a radio station, said, the knee hasn't been 100%. Whatever it was, there was something missing there. But it might very well be, bottom line is, he's getting married June 20th. And you might want to deflect those questions, but no matter how much you deflect them mentally, that might, too, have been a part of the play of Mike Pekka.
Out at center. It was an out-of-character 22 seconds for this series. We get the 2 goals. Here's Juno now. Feeds Oates. Backdoor pole. How did Holmgren get there? Post to post to make the save.
Oh, what a dandy play by Adam Oates. And Hasek nullifies Brian Bellows. Bellows is a right-hand shot, and Adam Oates, like he did for so many years with right-hand shots like Cam Neely in Boston, obviously like Brett Hull in St. Louis. Let this one roll here, fellas, from the corner. Oates will get the puck, and it's like he's got eyes in the back of his head, and somehow he finds the seam like all great playmakers do, and Brian Bellows is on the left side of your screen. Right-hand shot, ready to go. Oh, it nearly snuck through the arm. And if that jersey wasn't a size 65, it just very well might have.
Pekka from Ward and Verano was the Buffalo goal. Tikkanen from Tenorti and Kelly Miller was your Washington goal. Power play is on. Another minute 10 for Washington. Centering pass. Another big stop. Point blank by Dominic Hasek off the stick of Peter Bondra.
The Washington Capitals are exposing again that one roaming area in the slot, and they are getting great one-time chances there.
Housley goes across for Nikolishkin. Zednik trying to center back for Bondra, and it was broken up. Sabres back the other way now. With Dixon Ward, he'll shoot in softly, kills some clock. Under 40 to go, and the penalty to Zednik. Housley leading the charge at center. Up ahead for Zednik now. Wilson ties him up. Plant comes over to finish him off and take away the puck. Here's Derek Plant leading the charge out of his own zone. Plant with speed. Plant, it's a pass. As he really let the shot go, but it turned into a pass. And nearly a good offensive chance for Buffalo.
And a good spurt of energy by Derek Plant, who has been quiet even when in uniform for the Buffalo Sabres. That was a good rush right there.
Shannon backhands out of his zone. 5 seconds left on the power play. Bondra has put it between the skates of Eagles. And that'll do it for the power play. Buffalo able to kill it off. Bugner banged by Eagles. But the Sabres come out of center. Barnaby and Zednik cross signals. And that allows Tikkanen to get to it. His pass too far. Bugner recovers inside the Buffalo zone. Backhands to Grosek. Grosek off of Primo. And the Sabres try to come out of center. Broken up nicely by Kelly Miller, who with every game he plays adds to his Washington Capital record. Having a point, the shot from Miller. And it's blocked by Hasek there. Miller, the Capitals' all-time leader in regular season and playoff games played.
And when he looked up, all he saw was a big Buffalo Sabre, the wire mask and the helmet cage combination of Hasek. Hasek was out a good, 10, 15 feet outside his crease.
Juno, little drop pass, gets it back. Here's Juno, back for Oates. Shot is blocked. Good sliding block there by Bugner for Buffalo. And the Sabres come back the other way. Grosek in the corner. Spins his man around. 2-on-2 battle for it there. Barnaby and Oates. Grosek trying to come away. Barnaby will get to it. Riki on him. Pekka joins the party and reverses the flow. Coming up on 3 minutes left here in the second. We're tied at 1. Grosek will get to it. Finds Barnaby. Dumps it down low. Pekka tried to wrap it around on his backhand. Couldn't. It squirts free for Bellows for Washington now. Across the red line, he'll shoot in. And the Cats need a change.
Nice pace right here to this hockey game. Both teams countering. And good free-flowing action to this contest.
Out at center now. Buffalo can't connect on the pass. It's thrown back in. Hasek will leave it there for Schmelik. Around the boards. Bad play. Zednik able to keep it. For Nikolishkin. Shot just trickles wide of the net. Might have been blocked before it ever got on goal. Here's Zednik now. Good shot for Richard Zednik here. Schmelik, though, gets to it. Up high on the glass. And out. Sabres look to break. Penalty coming up. Buffalo was looking to break 2-on-1. And the player was pulled down. A penalty coming up. And the Sabres will go to the power play. With 2:17 to go. Here in the second. Michael Pekka first goal in 15 games, giving us the 1-1 tie.
A whole lot can happen out of the blue.
You heard about the high-endurance deodorant challenge from Old Spice? It's great at stopping odor. But what if you got to stop sweat? Well, now High Endurance makes a powerful new anti-perspirant. A white solid that goes on clear. See? No white flakes. So you can stay dry without the white mess you get from some other anti-perspirant. Guaranteed. Or call 1-800-PROVE-IT and Old Spice will buy you a stick of yours. So take the challenge. But this is more than just an anti-perspirant. This is the high endurance of anti-perspirants.
Mark Tenorti in the box for hooking at 17:43.
After the Washington Capitals had tremendous pressure, Václav Varada completely embellishes that little hook. It's on the very, very hip. He's being slowed down just a little bit, and Tenorti becomes the guilty party, goes off for the minor. Don't forget, Buffalo squandered a 5-on-3 for 54 seconds when it was 0-0.
This is the 6th power play of the night for Buffalo. They're 0 for 5, bringing their grand total for the series to 2 for 32. Here's Woolley back behind the net, looks to line it up. 2 minutes to play here in the second, tied at 1. Pekka and Tikkanen, your goal scorers. Here's Zhitnik, back to the point. Big shot, blocked as Plant let it go. And a good play there by Eagles going down.
Oh, that's a great play by Mike Eagles to time that, block the shot like that. And the main guy on the power play, there's 2 guys with 3 goals. Donald Audette and Matthew Barnaby. Audette's on the ice right now.
Fired in. Juno back for it there. A couple of Sabres there. But Johansson wraps around. Kept in by Woolley. Knocked down by Juno, and he's able to clear. Minute 5 left in the power play.
Good job by Juno, too. Getting over there to the traffic area. And Juno, again, has good hand-eye coordination. Ron Wilson likes his penalty killers to have some offensive instincts as well. He's got 2 of the best there, Adamos and Juno.
Here come the Sabres. Gromchik's shot was just wide. Nearly had Kolzig going the wrong way. Wrapped all the way around, and Holzinger couldn't keep in. Final minute to play here in the second. Here's Daryl Shannon winding up. Fake the shoot in. And because of that, put his teammates offside, like Michael Groshek. Should there be a Game 7 necessary for this one? If Buffalo can win the hockey game, we'll have it for you. Saturday night, 7:30 on ESPN2. Again, we'll see on the Deuce only, ESPN's exclusive coverage of Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, ESPN2, Saturday night at 7:30 Eastern.
Lindy Ruff was the Sabres Rookie of the Year the last time the Buffalo Sabres went to a conference final in 1980. He wouldn't be happy with that last decision. The Washington Capitals had 4 guys along the blue line, and the fake dump-in ends up with a lack of communication and an offside situation.
Schmelik is back for it. 40 seconds in the period, 30 in the power play. Rather, 20 now in the power play. It's shot in by Buffalo. We'll look for the bounce. Can't get one there. And it's back out to center. Shannon has for Pekka. He's got a lane. Here's Michael Pekka. Goes across for Varada now. Back to the point. Schmelik thought about it. Now lets it go. Saved by Kolzig. He thought he had it. And it was still loose. Kept in now. 13 seconds left in the period. Shannon goes across ice. Now out of the zone. Schmelik will get to it in the final 7 seconds. Out of play and into the crowd with 4.1 seconds left.
Well, Mike Pekka gets on the board, and it's a big goal there. Now 4 seconds remaining. The Buffalo Sabres season is on the line. The same way it was in Game 5 in Washington, although that game so much one-sided. It was really, as the players said, an embarrassment to the way they have played all year long. And Mike Pekka in front of the net, if we keep an eye on where that puck is going, nearly redirects the shot. And good traffic, almost the I formation in front. Dixon Ward right in front, and Mike Pekka had to be veered off at the last minute to allow Kolzig a view of the puck.
Shot fired from way out, and the horn sounds, and that'll do it. 2 periods complete.
Now we've got 20 minutes to play for both teams. For the Buffalo Sabres, maintain their level of intensity and desperation to stay alive.
We will see you for the third of this 1-1 game. Right now, back to John and Barry.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. Washington might be thinking about the fact they're 9-16 with a chance to clinch the series, but one thing they'll feel very good about, after giving up the goal, they got it back so quickly.
As a coach, John, that is just a killer goal. The most important shift is the shift right after you score a goal. All the momentum's yours. You just got to make sure that you keep the momentum, not give it back. I had a line. This job was to go out there after we scored a goal to make sure that we kept the momentum, got it in the other teams, then ran into a few people. That goal right there, the Buffalo Sabres had everything their way. We said, just get out of this period. Everything's fine. Now it's 1-1. That's a killer goal. It's going to be interesting if they can respond to that.
It's also bad because a lot of guys standing around. Yep. No one got to Tikkanen to tie him up. Stick around. When we come back, we'll shift gears and move from the east to the west. Although the east is in the west. We'll explain the Montreal Canadiens tradition helping Dallas.